Guys, Philip is someone that's already known and loved on our team. If you don't know and love Philip, then I mean, I don't even know what are you doing. Okay, that's a you thing. But a lot of us got to know him much better during the State Fair project when he came in, got a chance to work several of the fairs with us, and really just wreck shop. You know, Philip brings his positivity. He brings his good energy. I've known Philip way back when as a district manager, and he's just someone that I always looked at with a lot of respect as a colleague. And I love seeing him tear it up on the CSP side even more. To say nothing for all the work he'd already done. Guys, his career sales are right under $1 million, and he's someone that's just on really the front end of being full time in the field, which is amazing. Homie's already had a 40K week, a 30K day, which I don't even know what to do with that. All right, you just make me feel bad about myself. So I went out there and had like a 30K weekend, and I'm like, woo, I'm a rock star. And he's like, well, I call that a day. So thanks, buddy. But you know, he put on there, you know, one of his proudest achievements was having $100,000 SE2 push. Those of us that have really gone after pushes and taken them seriously, we know how hard it is to just decide and just organize and manufacture something of that scale. You know, we've watched Chelsea do it. We've watched other people on the team just drop some incredible numbers, but that just takes so much planning, precision, and high level execution. That's just a beautiful thing. You know, one of the things that I love to see on here though, because we do have a big focus throughout this year and some of our spring meetings, again, on just financial planning and resources, on savings, on putting your money to work. And Philip, I did not know this till you sent me this. You have 3 rental properties, and I am sorry, you have 4 rental properties. Damn. All right. I'm way too old to not have rental properties. All you kids have a lot of stuff going. So I love seeing that. But guys, one of the big reasons that Brett reached out to Philip and really, and again, I can't stress enough, guys, if you've enjoyed the meetings we've been doing for the last 6 months to a year, it really has been Brett leading the charge. I can't thank you enough, man. But the reason why Brett really felt Philip was the perfect person to kick all this off is because he went into this last year with an intentional focus on selling Cutco kitchens. And, you know, selling kitchens, I know we all know how much it moves the needle. You know, Houston Rodeo is an expensive show, but I went there and sold a Cutco kitchen to a customer that barely spoke English, and all of a sudden, Houston Rodeo is awesome. It's great. I mean, I sold a bunch of other stuff too, but it's amazing how it immediately changes your thoughts on a day or a show or even your own opportunity. You know, I watched Calvin sell a Cutco kitchen just the other day at the Safari Club, and it was just wild because it was just someone that had the confidence and a plan to be able to help work someone from one step to the other, and it wasn't even that hard. He just had to have the confidence and have a little more, you know, forethought on sort of how to do it. And so it's really the people you can just see it when they make it a focus are the ones that get more of those results. Now, not everyone's going to buy a kitchen, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're missing out on the opportunities for those clients who could or would or should, for that matter. Philip had a goal of selling 10 Cutco kitchens this last year, and he missed his goal. Darn it, you missed your goal. But how many did you sell, Philip?
9.
Oh my gosh. All right. So yeah, that's I don't know, 7 or 8 more than I sold last year. So guys, to get a chance to kick off our January meeting and really our 2023, we're very lucky. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Philip Tice. Thank you, homie. We're so lucky to have you here.
Yes, sir, dude. I'm so freaking excited to be a part of this group. So I'm just grateful for the invite this past year, and I'm excited to be able to you know, give back to the team and help you guys sell some more kitchens. So I've given this is my 4th time giving this message in the last 2 months. So hopefully you guys get the best version of it. Which is good. So I called some other people and said I need some practice before I get to TGP. So that's what we ended up doing. But I've got some good notes, and I'm gonna just kind of run through it. The message is gonna start off with some concept stuff. I'm gonna share a couple of examples. I like teaching through stories, so I'll just tell a couple stories from last year, from when I was selling kitchens. And then we'll go over some verbiage, and then we'll have some Q&A at the end. So first and foremost, Brian had a great segue into my message, because my first point was the confidence when pitching kitchens, and he was talking about how Calvin just had that confidence to take someone from one step to the next, and then confidence asking them to buy it, which is probably the biggest thing when I'm trying to teach my mentees or when I'm just trying to talk to anybody about selling kitchens. The biggest hurdle is getting over that price. And getting your head to where you're like, I'm not nervous to ask someone to spend this. And if you worked in the booth with me last year, Nick Snyder made this comment a couple of times at the fairs. He was like, dude, you just like straight faced ask someone to spend 12 grand, and like you didn't blink an eye. And I just have complete confidence that people should buy Cutco kitchens. 100%. I have unwavering faith in that. And I think that's like this first step to getting there. You can know how to sell it as much as you want. If you don't have the confidence to ask people to buy it or to show it to them, then the rest doesn't matter. And so, if you're taking notes, that would be the very first thing, the confidence factor. And to help you justify it, here's how I justify it. When I bought my first property in 2019, I spent about 100 grand remodeling it, turn it into a rental. And throughout the process, I had to write several checks, anywhere from 5 grand up to the biggest one was a $32,000 check, paying people for working on the home. And in that process, I was like, oh, like stuff costs money. And I had been a manager before, and I've been preaching that for years. But until I did it, it just didn't hit the same way. And so one thing that I want you guys to think about is this. A Cutco kitchen is just a kitchen remodel. That's all it is. There's two ways you can remodel your kitchen. You can remodel the physical attributes of the kitchen, the floors, the backsplash, the cabinets, the counters, whatever. The other way is remodel it where you upgrade what's in the kitchen. And sometimes that could be getting new appliances. It could be getting Cutco, which is the cookware, flatware, the knives, the gadgets, everything. And when you pitch it to a customer like that, all of a sudden they're able to justify it better. Because I promise you, they've spent more than 10 grand on their kitchen before. Almost everybody has at some point. Kitchen remodel is like the number one remodel that people do, right? And so pretty much everybody can relate to that type of thing. And so pitch it as if they're remodeling their kitchen when they go, oh, that's like 12, 13 grand, 14, 15 probably when the prices go up. Like 15 grand, like that's a lot of money. It's like, yeah, but it's like a kitchen remodel. Oh, that makes sense. And explain it to them. Yeah, like you remodel cabinets, counters, all this stuff. How much does that cost? Yeah, this is cheaper than that. And this is the stuff you actually use, not just look at. And you guys can go into the product and explain it a little bit further than that. But that's the general concept there that may help you, relate that price and investment to customers. Let's go back to training day 2. This is from my manager days. The one thing that I always used to leave my training class with is it doesn't matter what you sell as long as you sell a set. And I said that over and over again. And to myself, I say this in the booth every time I talk to someone. It doesn't matter what you sell as long as it's a set. Well, this past year, I converted that over to it doesn't matter what you sell as long as you sell a package of some sort. And so what does that mean? The big thing about this message here and about selling kitchens is get off the kitchen and get on the package, right? Don't put yourself in the box of what a Cutco kitchen is. Put yourself in the box or put yourself in just the concept that it's about the package more than it is about what's in the package. I sold 9 kitchens this year, and I think only 4 of them were like true blue Cutco kitchens. Like if you were to be that guy that wanted to audit and be like, oh, you missed this right here. It's not really a kitchen. Like, I don't care. The package is what I sold. So a couple of my kitchens didn't have cookware in it. And I'll explain that in a second. And a couple of them didn't have flatware. And a couple of them didn't have knives in it. And a couple of them didn't have gadgets in it. And that's okay, right? To the customer, they're still buying the Cutco kitchen package. I just customized it to them. Okay. That's very, very important. The next thing is you want to make sure you're planting the seed no matter what. Cutco kitchens aren't going to happen with every interaction. And that's fine. That's okay. What's important is you need to go, hey, over time, I can get every customer to a Cutco kitchen. And you can explain it to the customers like this. Hey, by the way, people get this eventually anyways. Some people buy it all up front. Some people build it over time. Some people buy it in packages. It depends on what you want to do. But let me show you what's in it. That way we'll know and we can go from there. Something like that. explain it to them as if, hey, by the way, you're going to get this anyways, right? I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. Whether they buy it all up front or not, like obviously you want them to do it, but I only sold 9 last year and I pitched it well over 100 times, probably a couple hundred times last year, right? So it's important to understand that like it's okay if they don't buy the kitchen. They don't have to be the perfect customer to buy the kitchen for you to pitch it to them. You want to pitch it to everybody every time. Very, very important. And that's something I learned from Josh's Mastery of Upselling message from like 1952, where, you know, he's talking about the upserve. And if you show it to 100 people and 50 buy, that's great. Then show it again. This is the same concept with kitchens. You show it to 100 people, maybe it's only one that buys it. And that's fine, right? You still sold more than if you didn't show it at all. And so I show Cutco kitchens to every single person, no matter what. Like I don't talk to, if I talk to someone and have a meaningful engagement with them at the booth, on the phone, casual conversation with friends and family, and they're talking about what do you sell? I tell them what I sell, right? Hey, I'm looking for knives. Hey, that's fine. But just so you know, we're a full service kitchen company. We have this, this, and this, right? By the way, let me show you the knives now, right? Like, doesn't matter how you do it. Make sure you show kitchens to every single person, no matter what. Okay. One of my favorite mottos to go by is every product, every customer, every time, no matter what. Whether they're buying a can opener or a 5-piece or a homie or a package deal, whatever. I'm showing them everything every time because you never know. And also, this actually just happened to me. Someone I pitched a kitchen to a few months ago, they just called me and said, hey, like this morning, hey, you know, we're looking at this, but we're going to start with the knives and then, you know, we'll call you in a few months or next year and we'll get the next thing. We're probably going to get the flatware next. And I've got it in my CRM now that like, hey, here's the next thing. And they've already gotten started with the knives. Like they've already in their head planned that out. People plan big investments and purchases like that. And a lot of people, the majority that don't buy the kitchen up front, they are going to plan to buy it. You just have to plant those seeds, continue to water them, and eventually close them. Right? Let's see here. Let me go back to the concepts real quick. So when I said that the get off the kitchen itself and onto the package, here's what I mean. I'm going to share my screen. So this is Dante's binder. Here's the package that I show at the booth. Every single customer that comes to my booth and talks to me for at least a little bit of time sees this. So if you'll notice, there's 4 sections to it. So I look at it as 4 packages. There's 4 parts to the package. You have the Forever Cutlery, the Forever Flatware, the Forever Gadgets and Accessories, and the Forever Cookware. These are 4 parts that can be interchangeable. And to me, my definition of a kitchen is 4 packages. Is 4 like these 4 parts. Now, very often, people don't just outright buy the full kitchen as is. Everybody's a little different, and that's okay. You have to be okay with that. That's something I used to get really caught up on in the past, as I showed them the kitchen. Oh, but we don't need this, or oh, we probably wouldn't use that. And what would I do? I would drop down. And so last year I made a commitment that instead of dropping down, I'm going to swap stuff out. And so if I had someone that looked at it and they said, oh, I wouldn't really use those gadgets or already have them. Hey, that's fine. Here's a few different ways that we would do something. Hey, could you give these as a gift to someone else? Could this knock out all your gifts for the year? Friends and family and whatever. Could we knock those out? Okay, that's fine. You don't want these? Could I swap them out for a hunting packet, an outdoor package, and just plug and play with the outdoor package and just pop it in there? Right? Maybe they still don't want that. Okay, let's swap it out. Let's get you, hey, could you use an extra set of flatwares? 12 place settings enough for you? No? Okay, cool. So let's just pop in a second flatware chest. Now we've got 24 place settings. That was the first kitchen of the year I sold. We swapped out the gadgets and accessories for an extra set of flatware. And it was still 4 parts. It was the package. I could have dropped down and just took that out of the price altogether, but I didn't. I just said, hey, like, here's another option. Let's just swap it out. Everybody customizes their stuff anyways. Make them feel like it's okay, and then go from there and make it really work for them. That's important. Another thing that you can do, this happened at State Fair of Texas. I had a couple. This is actually the longest story I'll share today on my talk. I had a couple that walked up to the booth, and Snyder watched this whole thing. It was a wild ride. They walked up, and after pitching them for like 15 minutes and begging them to buy a 5-piece special and having to give them a stupid deal on it, they looked super unqualified. They ended up buying a 5-piece special on the 5-pay with a crazy deal. And then just for fun, I didn't want to do this because I was like, I just went through hell to get them to buy a 5-piece. But I have to show them just because I have to stick to my principles. I show them the kitchen. Hey, by the way, just so you know, here's the rest of our products for next time. We've got the Forever knife set. You're getting the 5. We can upgrade your knife set later. We can get you the flatware, the cookware, the gadgets, and accessories. This is what you will eventually have, just so you know. Just for fun, before you leave, could I show you what it would look like to get the next thing? Like, if you were to get something else, what would you say the next thing would be? Oh, we'll probably upgrade our knife set, but that'll be down the road. Okay, cool. Can I show you? And I upsold them to a homie, up to a Siggy, up to an ulti. And then same thing. Hey, this is our kitchen. Now we've completely checked off the first thing. Which would be the next thing, just for fun, that you would buy? We would probably get the flatware. We wouldn't really use the cookware or the gadgets accessories. Okay, cool. Upsold. It wasn't that easy, but I upsold them some flatware. The very next thing that happened, hey, by the way, I know I've done this twice already. This is our full kitchen. Just so I know you didn't want these. You don't think you'd use them. But as a part of the kitchen package, if I could swap either of these out, would you even consider? Like, would that even be something that you would do? Could I just throw you a bone and see if it makes sense? And they're like, well, what do you mean customize it? And I'm like, well, like, some people get 2 flatware chests, some people get 2 knife sets. Like, could you use an extra knife set? You can also use it for gifts. So if you don't want the cookware, I could swap it out for an extra ultimate set like you already got. And if you didn't want the gadgets and accessories, I'll swap it out for an extra flatware chest. If you want that, I don't know if you have any gifts or anything, or I could just do this many knife sets or whatever. And they were like, actually, what would this look like? And it ended up being 2 ultis and 2 flatware chests. And it was only because I showed them the kitchen package. If the kitchen package did not exist, that order would likely have not happened the way it did. And so it ended up being a kitchen package to them. They're like, oh yeah, we can buy that, but we can swap these 2 out. And they're like, done, write it up. Right. And I think it's important for you guys to hear how that happened, because it shows a few things. One, not everybody obviously starts out just buying the full kitchen. 2, it's okay if they don't want the cookware or the gadgets. Customize it, make it their kitchen package, just like you would customize a homie. Like, well, it's not really a homie, it's like a hybrid signature or ultimate. Doesn't matter to them, it's the knife set. To them, this is their Cutco kitchen. We just made it fit for them. So I think that's very important. I'm gonna stop sharing now. So does that kind of make sense, guys? How we can customize the package like that? Cool. One of the things that I think I heard this at the retreat, the State Fair retreat. If people don't want the cookware, you can try to sell it on them, or sell them on it, which is totally fine. Or you can say, hey, by the way, like, let's swap it out for something. By the way, the extra knife set or the extra flatware chest or the hunting package or whatever it is. Hey, it's cheaper, so you're going to save money, and it's a little bit of a drop down still being in the package, right? So the big thing I'm trying to drive home here is customize the kitchen if you have to. Make it fit them, make it their Cutco kitchen, but continue to push the package, because the package concept is what you're selling, not necessarily the individual products. Kitchen pitches in general, guys, equal obviously more kitchens. So I sold 9 last year, but I pitched at least a couple hundred people, maybe more. I don't know, but a lot more than 9 people. Kitchen pitches also equal more packages in general. Your averages are going to go up. They're going to be like, oh, wow, like I didn't know I could buy a package instead of getting them, or instead of them getting a kitchen. They're like, hey, what if I just start with the knives and the flatware? I'm sorry that you're just starting with the knives and the flatware. That sucks, right? Like you're selling a package, but it's half the price of the kitchen. It allows you, when you pitch more kitchens, it allows you to price position Cutco against Cutco, which I know is a popular concept with this group. You're not pitching against Wusthof or Schoen or any of that. And some of you may still do that. I don't price position Cutco against other brands anymore. Nobody else really compares to us. Apple doesn't price position themselves against anybody else. They're like, nope, here are the prices. We're good. We're worth it. And people flock to them. And I want to have that same attitude about Cutco. Like, it's Cutco. It's worth it, right? It's not cheap. Here's our biggest package. Here's our other packages. They all fit together, by the way. It's all one thing. It's kind of like Apple. You have the MacBook, the iPad, the iPhone, the Apple Watch, the AirPods. By the way, they all link together. The Cutco kitchen's the same way. You have this seamless customer experience where they have knives that are guaranteed, cookware is guaranteed, flatware, all the gadgets and accessories. If they hunt and fish, they got those. They got pretty much everything, and it all seamlessly fits together. It's all under one umbrella, and they've got one contact person for it to take care of them forever. And that's something that's really cool about Cutco's program and what we do as CSPs. So kitchen packages also help you sell obviously more knife sets. If you show them a $13,000 package, all of a sudden the Signature and Ultimate seems pretty cheap, relatively speaking, right? No, I don't want that. What does it look like just to do knives? Pitch $3,000. They're like, yeah, that's way better than 13, right? It kind of like sets the tone for that conversation there. You've also got it introduces them. If you're not great at this already, it's kind of a crutch for you to introduce the cookware and flatware, right? Not all customers start with knives, believe it or not. I used to think that. Our whole team, used to think I have to start with knives. Like sometimes we get stuck in like the steps that it takes to buy Cutco, and it's like homemaker, and then they upgrade later, and then they get flatware, and then eventually, if I get better at pitching cookware, they'll buy cookware, and then they get this, and then that's it. It's okay if people buy flatware or cookware first. It's happened a lot actually this past couple of years since I went full time. I will show people a kitchen. I just had a guy actually week 1 of November. I showed him a Cutco kitchen. He's like, no, I don't want the knives and the flatware right now. I need to do pots and pans. And I'm like, that never happens. And I sold him a legacy cookware set as his first ever Cutco order. Right? Like he doesn't even have the knives yet. He doesn't even have the flatware yet, but he's got the cookware, and he spent $5,000 on cookware. So when I go show him the Ultimate, it's like, oh wow, this is $2,000 less than I spent on the cookware. The flatware chest is a drop in the bucket compared to what he spent on the cookware. Like it's okay if people don't start with Cutco knives. Totally fine, and it's actually a more fun thing sometimes when you think about it. It helps you sell more later because it's not, they're not spending more, they're spending at or less than they spent on the front end. So another story I want to share. This was the same day I sold that kitchen at the fair. I had another one over the phone to a past customer, and him and his wife got divorced. He called me. He was wanting to buy a homemaker, but when I got on the phone with him, I said, hey, by the way, John, just so you know, I know we've never really talked about it because it had been a few years since I'd seen him. I was still a manager. I didn't pitch kitchens. I didn't know how to sell kitchens back then. But I was like, hey, just so you know, if you want knives, it's totally fine. But can I show you what our best package is that we have? Like it's our absolute best package. And it's already pre-discounted by like $2,000. He's like, what is it? I say it's our full kitchen. Now, sounds like you're getting a new house. Sounds like she took all the kitchen stuff. It'd be probably nice to just start fresh. Just so you know, I could keep you from having to shop for anything else in the kitchen. We could just knock it all out in one go. You don't have to waste any more time. You don't have to shop around. You don't have to do anything. I'll take care of your kitchen. I'll fill it up for you. You'll be done with it. It's our kitchen package. I'll get you all the pots and pans, the flatware, the knives that you already knew and loved, that you don't have anymore. I'll fill it up with all the gadgets and accessories. Like, we'll just put Cutco in your whole kitchen. Check it off the list. Don't think about it again. You'll be done with it. And he was like, how much is it? And I told him, like, hey, it's like 13.1. Discount's like 10.5. He's like, you know what? If you can split it up for me, we'll do it. Done. It was like a 30-second like, I went from him going, hey, tell me about this homemaker set that I used to have, to I was like, hey, let me take 30 seconds to tell you about this. And he was like, all right, cool. And it went from a 1K CPO order to like a 9K CPO order that fast, because I told him about it. In the past, I might have gone, you know what, Philip? We're not in person. We're on the phone, first of all. He's not looking at the cookware or the flatware. So how the hell are you going to pitch it to him? Two, this guy's talking about maybe buying a homemaker because he just got a divorce. No way you should ask him to spend 10 grand. No way in hell you should ask him to do that. Right? Like, think about it, guys. Like, that, those are ways that I could have sold myself against pitching it. But instead, I said, you know what? I'm going to show it to everybody every time. And it sounds like this guy could probably use a new kitchen anyways. Some pain points that people have in the situation he was in, where he was getting a new house, right? Starting off fresh. Hey, I need new knives. I took that context and said, you know what? Here's some pain points. He's about to spend God knows how much time shopping, right? Trying to find different brands and not trust some of them, don't know what to get. Maybe he wasn't the cook. He knows me. He trusts me already. Let me just take away all those pain points and say, hey, I'll just knock it out for you. This one phone call, we'll be done with it. And it ended up working out. So I was able to pitch the entire kitchen to him on the phone, and he got it, which is exciting, right? Now, to do something like that, though, guys, like, you have to get excited and have some good voice inflection over the phone, which leads me to my next point. I sold two kitchens over, just strictly over the phone this year, without doing a presentation at all. I had another guy I briefly met at a show in November, very briefly met at a show in November, and he walked by. I handed him a card and got his info. He's like, I need new kitchen stuff, but I don't have time. That was it. I called him the next day, on Monday after the show, talked to him over the phone, sold him some knives, and I said, what else would you like? Oh, well, I don't know. You know, what else do you have? I don't think I need anything else. And I was like, hey, dude, like, by the way, our best package, I couldn't show it to you at the show because you're in a rush, but our best package that our top customers get, that because it makes the most sense, and you're a business owner, you'll kind of understand this. Our best package is just getting the full kitchen. Now, let me tell you about that real quick. It's got all the pots and pans, American made, guaranteed forever. You'll never have to buy it again. If it damages, we replace it for free, just like the knives. We've got our forever flatware, right? So you don't have to have any more mismatched stuff. You don't have to worry about if it damages, like, we'll replace it for free. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It also comes with 12 more like table steak knives in it. And the handles on the flatware matches the handles on the knives. So you and your wife are going to appreciate how everything kind of seamlessly fits together. And I want you to think for a second. Think real quick. Think about your kitchen drawers and cabinets and how much crap you've got in them right now. Think about it for a second. He was like, yeah, I got a lot of shit. Said, yep. Now I want you to think about what it would be like if we decluttered everything. We got Cutco. It all fit. It all matched. It was all American made. Guarantee. Check it off the list. Never worry about your kitchen stuff again. What would that feel like if we did that? That's what our best package does for you. What would that feel like? Let me talk to my wife. I'll call you back. Call me back about an hour later. I think we're going to get it. Boom. Cutco Kitchen. Again, another guy that I could have just sold a set to, that I took a moment, took a little bit of extra time, sold him on the concept, got really excited, found some pain points that I know people have. Like, we all hear the pain points. My cookware, this or this, it flakes, it's cast iron, it whatever. It sucks, it's burnt, all those things. Flatware, we know the pain points there. Mismatched, hodgepodge, can't find the matching pattern. I've got 7 place settings of this and 8 of those, and nothing matches, and it's all cluttered. My drawer just sucks. I've got all these gadgets. We've got 3 ice cream scoops and 4 can openers and like 17 pizza cutters, and none of them work, and they all are rusted. And all those pain points when you're selling the Cutco kitchen, you can pile them on top of each other and really drive home the concept of buying the kitchen. And to be honest, guys, shoot people straight. When you get to the pricing, don't shy away from it. Like I've even gone as far, like on that phone call specifically, I was like, hey, by the way, it's not cheap. Like tax and everything, it's going to be like 12 grand. And I know it's a lot, but it's worth it. And if you can swing it, I promise you, you're going to be so happy that you got it. Like, I promise. You will not make a better investment this year. You're going to have this stuff for the rest of your life. So if you can swing it, I would just do it. And I did that talking to a guy because I know how guys think. This guy specifically, I could tell. It's like, yeah, I could swing it. Like he owned a business. I knew he had the money if he wanted to do it. And we did payments. It's like, hey, it's like $2,500 a month for 5 months, then you're done. Like, can you swing $2,500 a month if you really wanted to? Yeah, I can. Okay, well, I promise you it's worth it. So I think it would make sense for you to get it. And just be direct about it, guys. Don't beat around the bush. Don't try to defend the price. Be assertive with it. Like, yeah, it's not cheap. Like, it's not chump change. It's good stuff though. Like there's a reason that it's expensive. So that's very important too. Here's some verbiage. I always get the question, when do you pitch your Cutco kitchens at the booth? There's 3 different places you can pitch it. You can pick one. You can do a combination. You can do all 3. That's up to you, right? Whatever works best with your pitch. But the 3 are these, and then I'll go into them. The first one is right off the bat, the intro. The second one is after the intro when you're about to show them the knife set, like our original pitches are. On the way to showing the knife set, showing the kitchen real quick, just like pop it by them. The third is in the upserve at the end. And you've heard me kind of do all 3 here so far in my message, but I'll start with off the top. Someone walks up to the booth who doesn't know what Cutco is at all. How do you start the pitch? Hey, by the way, are you familiar with Cutco? No, I'm not actually. What is this? Okay, cool. Just so you know, Cutco stands for the Cooking Utensil Company, and we're a full service kitchen company. We're the premier kitchen company in the United States. Just so you can see here, and I've got my banner in the back. We've got our kitchen cutlery sets, our knife sets. We've got the Forever cookware. We've got the Forever flatware and the Forever gadgets and accessories. You can get all of it at once in packages, or we can focus on one thing if there's something specific you're looking for. Do you mind if I show you or tell you a little bit about who we are and what we're doing? And then you can go into your knife pitch at that point. If they say, "How I want to see the whole kitchen," show them the whole kitchen. If they're like, "Okay, cool, tell me who you guys are," whatever, go into the regular pitch, the regular new customer pitch. The second place that you can tell them about the kitchens is after your initial intro. You're like, "Hey, by the way, American Make, Consumers Digest, Readers Digest, Best Buy, guaranteed forever, stay sharp 10 years," that whole thing. Of the 3 knife sets, which one do you like the best? You think fits your family? Oh, you like the signature set? Cool. Can I show you that real quick? And then you got to open your binder to show them, and you accidentally happen across the Cutco kitchen. I accidentally do that every time. So this is my favorite place to show them the Cutco kitchen. On the way to flipping my binder, that page I had shared on the screen earlier just happens to be before all the knife sets. And I go, just so you know, I know you're looking at the knife set, but just to show you this is what everybody eventually has. We have the Forever cutlery, which is what we're looking at. We have the Forever flatware, the Forever cookware, and the Forever gadgets and accessories. People can buy it in full. They can just get it all at once and knock it out. We can do it. We can build it over time. You can start with one thing today. It's really up to you. Do you want me to show you what it would look like to get the full kitchen, or do you just want me to show you the knives right now? And ask a permission question, right? Either way, now in the back of their mind, they're like, oh crap, like they got cookware and flatware and they got all these other things too. If they want to see it, abort mission on the knife set, show them the whole package, right? And then sell each individual part of the package and close it. Or if they're like, that looks cool, but it's 12 grand, right? So I just want to see the knives right now. Now you've accidentally price positioned them to be ready for an expensive knife set. And when you get to whatever set they were looking at, all of a sudden it doesn't look so bad. It doesn't, not bad necessarily, but it doesn't look like an exorbitant amount. It's like, oh, like that's 2 grand versus the 13 grand he just showed me. Like, that's not bad. That's a great place to start. The third place is in the upserve. Every single customer, once they've committed to buying something, you have to show them the Cutco kitchen. You can do it because you want to see what the next thing is and put it in your notes. So, hey, next time we talk, like they really wanted to see the flatware. That could be your actual intention on the front end. But always offer them a deal on the next thing, or offer them a deal on the whole kitchen. It's up to you and how you feel in that situation. Like, what's your gut say? But always show it to them before they walk away from the booth. You want them always leaving knowing, hey, like there's more I can do here. Like when I leave a store and I just bought some stuff, like the Apple store specifically, I'm always like, golly, I got the phone today, but I really want that new MacBook Pro. Or I really want that new iPad for the booth, or I really want this or that. Or in a lot of stores are like that, right? There's a lot of scenarios. You leave Lululemon and you're like, I want this next time. Like the same thing with Cutco. Like they need to leave knowing, hey, there's something there for me. Next time they see a Cutco booth, they're going to pop up and be like, like we wanted to look at this, and then create more ROR orders for you. If you're at the booth, it'll just create an order for you in general, et cetera, et cetera. When you do a marketing plan, hey, yeah, actually, you showed me the kitchen. I couldn't get it last time. I think the next thing is blank, flatware, cookware, whatever. And you're planting that seed for down the road, and it's going to generate you some more business. So those are the 3 ways that you're going to show the Cutco kitchen. That is the gist of my message. I've got some time for Q&A, I believe, Brian. We'll
Yeah,
wrap it up.
definitely. If people have some questions they want to throw out to Philip, I think that'd be great. I'll just throw one out just to start. I think we've all had that experience where whether it's going through an upsell or you get a lot of excitement about a package early on, how do you handle when the customer almost kind of that, a confused mind doesn't decide? I literally had a customer at Safari Club tell me like they were interested in the cookware and they literally just go, I kind of feel overwhelmed right now because I wasn't planning any of this at the moment. And I was like, no big deal. And, I still sold them a set in business gifts, but it's like, they weren't in that place. And if I pushed too much, I could have gotten them to that place where they're like, oh, we'll just think about it, and then I end up sort of costing myself that sale. I think for some people, maybe not on our team, but maybe it's just me. I think I've had that fear-based mentality sometimes if I don't want to screw it up by sort of shooting the moon. So how do you feel you navigate those waters to keep people feeling really secure with whatever they're going to buy, even if they're really excited about the idea of the kitchen, but maybe it's not in reach?
Yeah, for sure. I think you just have to reaffirm whatever it is they are excited about that day. Show them the kitchen and let them know it's okay not to get the kitchen. If it's kind of like the same thing where we've all gone through this, you show them the homemaker, you show them the ultimate, and then all of a sudden they're like, shit, if I'm going to get something, I'm going to get the ultimate. You have to make them feel okay getting what they can get that day. And so it's like, hey, by the way, like I don't want this to be the last time I see you. Now we've got some stuff to get next time, and we can hang out again, and we can help you get the rest of the kitchen. By the way, you're going to really love this and this that you're getting today. It's going to be great, and I'm going to be your guy from now on. So when you are ready, we can get the rest of this stuff. Right. Same thing with the kitchen and the knife sets. It's all the same concept there. Make them feel really good about the homemaker. Low key bash. Hey, like, you probably wouldn't use the ultimate pieces right now, but it is something we want to get down the road. But I think you're getting a really good start with the homemaker set. Same exact thing there. Just really make them excited about what they are able to get that day. Great
Nice.
question.
Love that. Guys, anyone have any kind of specific questions we want to throw Philip's way?
Yo, I do. What up, Philip? I love the concept of the packages and not just sticking to the square box, right? So my question is, you present the package, they see it's 13 grand. When you're customizing it for them, they're thinking 13 grand. If I take out the cookware and I put another ultimate set, there's still a 2 grand buffer there, right? So I guess I'd like to know is, how do you either A, leverage that to your benefit, or B, like how do you utilize and not shoot yourself in the foot by saying, oh well, we'll save you 2 grand, and then all of a sudden they add, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
kind of where do you go from that point? If
yeah,
you
for
could
sure.
answer.
100%. So, this right here depends specifically on the situation with the customer. If you feel like them saving the 2 grand would be a big deal, like a really big deal, that's fine. But what I always say is, hey, by the way, we can customize your package. A lot of people do that. It may go up or down a little bit, and I can tell you what that looks like after we pick it out. And then I keep that in my back pocket. I didn't go, hey, it went down, it went up. I say, hey, it may go up or down a little bit. When I get to the close, after we picked out everything that they like, that's when I go, hey, by the way, instead of it being, 13 grand, it's only 9,700. They're like, oh shit, that's awesome. Right. If I feel like they're like, this is just a lot of money, I just don't know if we should do this today, then I may go, hey, by the way, I know we showed the set and it's originally 13, whatever. And, it's with the discount, it was 10.5. But a cool thing is, since we did swap out the cookware, right? The cookware is the most expensive thing we have. So this will actually save you some money here. This is really good for you that we did this. When we take out the cookware and put this in instead, it actually makes the price only this much. So it makes it where you could get it today and it's only this much. And so I wouldn't, like, on the front end, don't put your chips in the middle on the price thing. Wait till you get towards the close, kind of feel where they're at, and then just spin it however you need to spin it to make them feel really good about it.
Nice, cool. I appreciate it. I love that line. This is really good that you did that. Like, it's making them feel good that they made the decision that they did, which just reaffirms them buying. So
Yep.
cool. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Good question. Thank you.
I love it. Guys, anyone else have any question or just big takeaway from the message that you want to share? Awesome. Well, I will say I sent this image out to our managers earlier today, and Philip during his message, it just made me think about this. And you can just tell that in his case, this is something where he has applied it. This is not just theory. This is not just another talk that he's heard a qualified person give. He's gone out there and actually done it. He talked about, I've done 100 pitches of it or 1,000 pitches of it this year, and it sold 9. But we all know for a fact that the work he did doing all those pitches, it's just creating that higher level of competency and confidence that he's going to draw from, and that's going to continue to get not just the kitchens this last year, but it's going to get them all the kitchens going forward as well. And so not being afraid to just go out there and just pitch it and just do it every time and do it to the best of your ability, I think is key. I've had a pretty big turn on business gifts, which I know is also a big focus for Philip, but I've had a pretty good turn on that here in the last year or two. And really for me, I'm not being self-deprecating. I still don't think I'm that good at it. I just talk about it a lot. I have really some just bomb ass samples, and I talk about it a ton. I sold 14 grand this week in business gifts, and it's just random stuff, and it's just CPO I would have left on the table before. And now don't get me wrong, I'm not that guy where it's just like, oh, now it's just all business gifts. Not really. To me, business gifts are just cookware. They're just kind of a cool way to get more CPO while I'm still selling some sets and knives. That doesn't need to be your bliss, but I had to be willing to just mess it up a lot. And I'm sure Philip's path has been a little cleaner than mine, but having a willingness, like like the number one way you sell more is you just show it more often, and you just have to win your own mental battle for the hows and the whys to really help get you there. And that's something that came across so consistently and so elegantly through your message, Philip. So I will say fourth time is the charm, delivering your talk there, homie. That was fantastic. Well, Philip, thank you, man. We're so lucky to have you, not as a speaker, but as a friend, as a part of our family. We always we joke, we don't recruit, we adopt, and you're part of our family now. You're part of our team. You're adopted, so you didn't want another Cutco family, but haha, joke's on you. Now you have it. And we're lucky to have you here, man. We can't wait to see what we do with you at the state fairs this next year, because we have every expectation of locking arms with you yet again. So just keep doing what you're doing, homie. We're excited to have you as a part of the team. That's for sure.
Yeah. Thank you,
Hey,
Brian. Thank
Anthony
you.
had a quick question if you had one more second, Philip.
You good
I'm
for one
good.
more question, Philip?
I'm good.
Dude, hit it,
Yeah.
Coyote.
So I have a question. So I know we mainly talked about kitchens with like new clients, new customers. Obviously, I assume you sold kitchens to past customers or upgrades as well. My question is designed around people that have like piece or small Cutco order mindset and getting them into large packages. I know all of us have met those like people that have a trimmer for whatever 15 years and think it's everything they need. So what's your way to transition into package mindset?
Yeah, actually, I had a guy, a couple of examples, but I don't have time to go through that for y'all. But if you have someone that's used to buying in pieces, that's okay. They may be the person that buys a Cutco kitchen over the course of 15 years. Like, that's okay. You need those people in your business. It is what it is, right? So be okay with that. However, pitch people on, hey, by the way, like, we love the way that you buy Cutco. Like, you're one of my favorites because you buy like 2 or 3 pieces at a time, which is awesome. But can I tell you a secret? That's the most expensive way to buy Cutco. Just so you know. Like, I love it. I'm not mad about it. But friend to friend, can I tell you what I think you could do if you could swing it? Can I like share something with you real quick? And then share the concept of saving a boatload of money by buying a Cutco kitchen or a package or whatever, or introduce them to the idea of fast tracking to the kitchen. Hey, instead of buying 2 or 3 pieces at a time, what if we knocked out sections at a time? Like, how quickly could we finish the knife part of your kitchen? How quickly could we start working on your flatware or your cookware or your gadgets and accessories, and buying bigger chunks? And I'll save you some money if we can do that. You're used to buy like I love that you buy like 2 or 3 knives a year, and I think that's great. And if you want to keep doing that, I'm cool with it. But if you're open to it, could we buy, or could I show you what it would look like for you to buy a little bit more at once? I give you a deal, we spread it out over payments, and you end up getting what you really want for a better deal, or you end up getting this kitchen or whatever, something to that effect. Having the permission approach to it. Would you be open to it? That way you're not making them feel bad. Like, they're like, yeah, I'm open to it, and praise them for what they're already doing, but then offer, hey, I think this could be better for you if you're open to it. Does that make sense? I bet, by the way, guys, the Cutco owner thing, I meant to hit that at the beginning and I forgot. If someone already has a knife set, who cares? Sell them a full kitchen. My second kitchen of the year, last February, this guy was like, I already have the ultimate set. I'm like, that's cool. You don't have the platinum ultimate set. Sold him a Cutco kitchen with a platinum ultimate. Now he's got, or I think y'all call it the fan upgrade. So now he's got 2 ultimates sitting beside each other on the counter. My drop down was to take it out, but at first I was like, oh, let's just get the full kitchen.
I love it. I love the kitchen upgrade for a Cutco owner is the fan set with the other components. I've never even thought about that because I'm not on that level just yet. I got to go make some more mistakes first. That's awesome. Dude, that's next level. Well, dude, Philip, thank you so much, brother. We sure appreciate you. And again, you're very welcome to stick around as long as you want. I understand if you have to bounce, and we'll be talking again here very, very soon.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate you guys. Let me know if y'all need anything.
Will do, brother. Appreciate it.